Hey, hi everyone. My name is Jerry Wise, and today I'd like to talk to you about how a narcissistic family, a narcissistic parent, can break our attachment style. I've been working with individuals, families, and couples for decades 40, 45 years, and I've been helping them to get their family of origin out of them and to learn to begin to self differentiate or family differentiate so that they can be their true selves. And today I want to talk about how our attachment style has been broken as a result of growing up in a narcissistic home. And when I say a narcissistic home, I don't mean everyone in the family is a narcissist. What I mean is there is a narcissist or several narcissists in the family. Many times you can have a parent who's a narcissist. You can have one of your siblings who is a narcissist as well. And that if you have one parent who is truly a narcissist, then those dynamics are going to impact the whole family. And that's why I say like a narcissistic family. And again, I don't mean everybody in the family has no empathy. Everybody in the family rages. Everybody in the family is shame shedding on everyone else. It's not that. That comes from the narcissist. But it does impact everybody in the family because everyone in the family is connected emotionally in all families. Well, if you add a narcissist to the family dynamics, you're going to have these kinds of difficulties. Since 2010 or so, there are books come out called Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller, and it's called Attach. And it talks about attachment styles. And basically there are three: anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, and secure attachment. And I believe that with those indications of attachment styles, the authors go into the important dynamics of how you could recognize attachment styles in others, and also how you could relate to them in a better way, and also to identify your attachment style, and how you can deal with that in better ways, how you can think better, behave better, respond better. While I think that's very helpful, and I think it has helped many people, those particular concepts, I want to talk about it from almost a family of origin perspective. When we talk about attachment style and where it comes from, the jury's still out as, for example, to know exactly where our attachment style comes from. And I think there's lots of dynamics. We're complicated organisms. People are complicated things. And so there can be lots of sources of where we may get our attachment style from. I think a strong point is, of course, family of origin. That tends to be my perspective. But I know there's genetics. I know there's genes. I know there's DNA. I know there's life experiences, life traumas. There's all kinds of things that can go into our attachment style. However, whatever our attachment style is, I think the work of doing self-differentiation can be a big help in making and helping us move towards a more secure style. The avoidant and the anxious attachment styles are both an enmeshment wound. When we have an anxious attachment style, our anxiety pushes towards someone too much emotionally. If we are insecure and we have an avoidant attachment style, then we will move away from intimacy and closeness and move away from that person. But in my view, either of those styles come out of too much closeness. Oftentimes people will think, well, that person's just so avoidant. They are just so distant. My husband runs away from me all the time. My wife, all she does is avoid. But often we don't see how often that type of avoidance also is a product of too much closeness. I don't need to avoid if I'm comfortable with some intimacy or closeness or emotional proximity. But if there's been too much closeness or enmeshment, let's say in my family of origin, then I may find avoidance is the way to go. and I will take that to my relationships. And if we have too much enmeshment in our family of origin, and often we can become people pleasers or anxiously people pleasing, anxiously codependent, anxiously connected to others, even dependent, or wish others to be dependent on us. And both, again, have the struggle of an unresolved closeness, togetherness versus a separateness or autonomy, individuality problem. Those two forces are not managed well, and were not managed well when we grew up. And in fact, narcissistic families don't manage togetherness and individuality or separateness well at all. And that can make for really difficult productions of attachment styles that can be stubborn in terms of moving to a more secure attachment style. And when I think of a secure attachment style, I think of a self-differentiated attachment style. And I think even the authors and other people talk about that style as being one that can be connected while separate. Connected while separate. And we talk about that as being kind of a healthy norm in family therapy, in most psychology in terms of relationships, and how we want the combination of being able to be close without enmeshment and being able to be separate without avoidant or distant. We want to be here, neither here nor here. We want to be here, where we have proximity and closeness and intimacy while still maintaining self and a sense of self. I believe understanding your attachment style can be helpful in understanding your reactivity. And again, I think if we take a look at our attachment style and we think about our family of origin, we can begin to see how our family of origin kind of shapes that attachment style that we have. But we have to remember, and I think it's important to remember, our attachment style is not us. Attachment style does not equal me. It is an attachment style, and I understand it can be a learned or programmed process in how I do relationships. But I'm not sure that it equals me. It equals a true self. What I like to talk about, think about, is what then is our attachment style with ourselves? What is your attachment with yourself? That's one of the best ways, I think, to promote a secure attachment and a healthy attachment style. How am I attached to me? And I think the more we work on how I'm attached to me, how I learned to be attached in certain ways to me, growing up in my family of origin, will help me in terms of clarifying, helping make healthier the relationships with others and how I am attached to them. So we want to make sure we take a look at what is my attachment with me and what is my avoidance with me? What is my anxiousness with me? I think one of the things, a lot of people have trust issues. I don't think that's uncommon. And they will have trust issues and go, I just don't know how I can learn to trust other people. And then I go, well, did you ever learn how to trust yourself? Did you ever learn how to trust other people in your family? Oh, no. They were not trustworthy. It was crazy. It was volatile. There wasn't trust in that regard. Then what did you take away from it? Now you're an adult. How do you trust yourself? Oh, I really don't. But yet you'd like to learn how to trust other people. Let's start at the beginning and learn how to trust me. Can you count on you? And one of the things I discovered for myself was that I didn't feel like I could count on me. I couldn't trust me. I couldn't count on me. And then I wonder, why am I so insecure? Why am I so anxious? Because I really don't trust me. And I hadn't come to learn to do that in a healthy way. I have a program that I list below in the description in which I suggest you take a look at to help learn how to begin to trust you, learn how to improve your attachment and your attachment style with yourself, and you will find greater relationship successes recovery and healing. And I would suggest you take a look at that program. I think it could be of help to you. Family differentiation, your new road to self. What can we do then with attachment? Begin to learn and practice a secure attachment style with yourself. And a secure attachment style is wrapped up in learning to become more self-differentiated. It's not I want to be away from people. It's not that I want to disconnect from people. It's not that I don't want to have intimacy in my life. But if I don't manage the forces of togetherness and separateness well, I'm not going to find that easy to achieve. And so in the program, I talk about togetherness and separateness and how we can manage that better. We will find healthier relationships come out of that. And I've seen that with people who have taken the program, people I've worked with for years. They have better relationships by learning how to manage togetherness and separateness. If you've grown up in a narcissistic home, togetherness and separateness are all messed up. There's a way to begin to learn that healthy balance. And I think that we can achieve that. Secondly, we want to learn and observe how your family's super self informs your attachment style. In other words, what I learned growing up, the experiences that I had, it can even extend to adult experiences that you've had. But if you go back to your family of origin, you can learn, oh, wait a minute. I think it's no different than thinking about codependency. Where did I learn to become codependent? As a recovering codependent, where did I learn to do that? Well, if you take a look at your family, you can see ways in which you were either shamed, guilted, felt insecure, worthless, stupid, dumb, not confident. Now, how do you think that's going to inform my attachment style? In a significant way. Doing healing in those areas and practicing, observing how I function in my family of origin, even today, can inform that process. And then thirdly, anxiety awareness. One of the things I find throughout all the book on attached is anxiety awareness. And that's something that I've been preaching and talking about since 1979. What is our anxiety awareness? Are we aware of that? And I don't mean, oh, am I just nervous? I mean, how am I reactive? Why do I become reactive? What was the pinging that was going on for me? What was the triggering that was going on? And if we can begin to manage our anxiety, manage our reactivity, I think we can loosen the unhealthy attachment styles and come to more of a secure attachment style. I hope that you'll subscribe, like, comment on this video, and thank you for joining me. Have a great day and be wise.